Alrighty. Welcome back to another Davis Does Weather live stream. I did not realize how crap the lighting is. Hold on. We can fix this, chat. There we go. Welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I've got us a private server pulled up here that has a day 1 and 2 high risk. The day 1 high risk is extreme in terms of the thermodynamics and the kinematics. We've got 3,500 surface cape, 500 SRH, 133 cape, lapse rates at the 0 to 3 at 8.9. Crazy looking photograph, 8.2 on the STP, VTP. So, pretty extreme day again. If you do want to join, let me go ahead and throw the code in chat. The code is going to be RW56. K4. So that's the code. If you do want to join up, make sure to enter that code in there whenever you get the option to join a VIP server. But anyway, I hope you guys are having an absolutely phenomenal night. Again, we're just going to be chilling here, playing some Twisted tonight, maybe towards the end of the stream, looking at the 6C, HRRR, and NAM runs if we stay live for that long. Because I actually do think that tomorrow definitely does have the potential to overperform many folks' expectations out there in the weather community. Based on the 0Z runs of both the HRRR and NAM model, we are shaping up to see a derecho-like event, if anything. So, we'll be watching that kind of, simultaneously while we're chasing here in Twisted. Again, day 1 and 2 high risk, so, I mean, pretty impressive day 1 high risk overall, I might add. Again, this is not just, borderline moderate. This is a very high-end high risk. I actually played on a server earlier on the private server here. I got a game with a 13 STP and a 3 VTP, and it just busted. It busted so hard. There was one tornado that was 200 plus. The other two were really not too impressive. I recorded for 45 minutes and everything and just scrapped the video because nothing impressive happened in the game. So we do finally have storm initiation, so we're going to go ahead and head south here. What's going on, camp? What's going on, jog? I hope you guys are having an amazing night. That's going to get taken out of context. What did I say now? I don't even remember what I said. But anyway. What did I say? I don't know what I said. Here, let's, I don't know how to do this. Oh, alright. That's just crazy. It's just uncalled for, honestly. Alright, well, anyway, let's go ahead and push south here. Again, the code for anybody that does want to join is going to be pinned in the chat there. Okay, so I gotta move my phone here to a place where I can still see the chat, but it's not obstructing my view of the actual game. Because Twisted is a game where there's not really a spot where you can just, put it over here and, oh, it's fine, we don't need to see that. You kind of need to see every portion of the screen at some point when you're playing Twisted. So, let me do something like this. I don't know if I trust that, but we'll run with it for now. What's up, Mr. Twister? Again, day 1 and 2 high risk here, so we'll see what happens. Again, first day here, providing us with 500 SRH out across the great state of Keysota. But yeah. Again, we're probably going to be looking at like an Almora slabber here, maybe an East Hazel, and then possibly as far east as kind of West Haram. So, we'll see what happens. Thank you for tuning in, Joan. Yep, all good. Alrighty. The code doesn't work? Did I get it wrong? Or, oh, whoa, I typed it out wrong. Hold up. Let me fix that. RW56K4. Aha. There we go. Sweet. All right. So we're in position. Uh, let's go ahead and get some drone footage here, honestly. Why the heck not? I mean, what else are we going to do while we wait here? See if we can watch this mesocyclone develop. Yeah, it's definitely a game that doesn't perform well on low-end devices, Ivan. I'd feel that. Alright. So, our meso's gonna develop right adjacent to our drone footage there again. There's your developing mesocyclone as we speak. So again, probably going to see a funnel here relatively soon. Again, we are on course for a direct intercept, but we're actually going to move a little bit further north even. I actually think that this is going to be an East Hazel thing. Davis and us are such night owls, yeah. Yeah. I don't remember how private servers work. Do I have to, like, add you as a friend or invite you or something? Alright, there's our funnel. I don't remember how those work. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm sure Mr. Twister knows if he's watching. Oh yeah, it's a connection now. I saw that the other day. It said something like somebody sent you a connection, and I was like, what does that even mean? Like, did they They've got to just be doing that to for controversy. Like, there's no reason. There's no reason that they would do that rationally. Like what? Like nobody, not a singular person has said, "Oh yeah, I think that's a great." No, no, not a singular person. Let's see. Can we wait? What was your username, Camp? All right. So again, East East Hazel Slabber, on the ground. All right. So probably gonna be somewhere near the gas station on far East Hazel here. So we'll go ahead and position. It actually could be even a little bit further east of that. It could be in between Hazel and Denstrike, but I think we're going to position on the eastern edge of Hazel. Alright, I'll add you as a connection. Alright. Camp. Can you not add connections through here? Bro. How shall we do that? How? Somebody help me. Vehicle whitelist? I didn't even know that you could make a vehicle whitelist. That's kind of awesome. Alright, large cone tornado here. Again, gonna go just east of the gas station. So I think we're probably... Whoa, red TVS. Okay. I did not realize it was already that intense. But we're fine. We'll, Oh, I could go to the website. That's true. I'll do that after this intercept here. Again, large, cone tornado now. Yeah, it's actually gonna go... That actually might hit the gas station. It's on the southeast side of Hazel right now. Here it is. Alright, yeah, that's gonna go dangerously close to the gas station. It's actually traveling northwest. That is weird. That is very weird. Okay, if you say so. Lots of, structure, collapsation. That's not a word. In all seriousness, Quite a few roofs ripped off of homes. A couple of exterior walls destroyed. Nothing too significant yet that would constitute anything higher than, say, an EF3 rating. Um, let's see. Yeah, again, kind of just that mid-range EF3 damage is what we'd be seeing from this. Again, it's orange TVS, so I mean that correlates with that theory as well. Again, orange TVS supporting wind gusts of 120 to 140 miles an hour, which, yes, would be low end EF3, but sometimes structural damage doesn't necessarily correlate entirely. And we're also bouncing between orange and red TVS, which would be 100 and... No, red TVS is 120 to 140. So, again, at the very least, some low-end EF3 damage. Again, back, that would be closer to downtown Hazel, where we had those exterior walls collapsed. What the... Okay. I was trying to intercept there, but nope. I guess the debris had other plans. Alright. Yeah, again, that home probably sustaining mid-range EF2 damage. Again, a lot of debris. Not super intense, I'll be totally honest. I mean, it's definitely not weak by any means, but it definitely has room to strengthen, I would say. Alright, we don't want to drive into the lake, so we're going to stop right there. But I think we're going to let that tornado continue to head north over Hazel Lakes, now pink TVS, and we're going to target this southern storm, but we are quickly going to add up camp first on the Roblox website. Heck yeah. Alright. Is it going to let me do that, though? I don't know if it's going to let me do that. Okay, log in. Davis Does Games YT. Here we go. Connect. Alright. Where do I go to? Am I camp miss 1, 2, 3, 4? Is that what it was? I put 2 M's. There it is though. Except, alright, here we go. Let's roll. Yeah. You didn't see my password. Alright. Let's roll. On the way back down here, we'll get to see some of the structural damage that a lot of these UB homes sustained. Again, I actually do think that we could probably find a couple of mid-range EF3DIs, but we're going to save that for whenever we don't have something going on. Dude, I don't want to do an east to Wenatchee chase, I really don't. I mean, the last one moved northwest, so perhaps we can dodge that nightmarish outcome if something like that happens again, but unfortunately I don't see that being a likelihood by any means. We'll continue to push south here, and I would watch the Viroqua area for a touchdown. Yep, to join, just put your username in chat, and then I'll add you whenever I'm free. And then you can, I believe you can join with the code after that, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how it works. I don't know if Camp is able to get in or not, but... Derecho event. So, again, what I had said is a derecho or derecho-like event. I had a couple people on Twitter frustrated that I used that terminology. The 0ZH and 0ZNAM were very bullish. They did support a derecho or a derecho-like event. Now, I can understand some frustration in the sense that we don't have a whole lot of model agreements on that entirely. We just have the 0Z runs of these models that support something like that. The other models have been a lot less bullish. I hate to use the same word twice, but a lot less bullish on the event having it at kind of a high-end MCS event. But with an uptrend in both models simultaneously, it makes me think that the event is going to be quite intense, and the environment certainly supports it. We've got 4,000 cape, we've got about 203 cape, we've got wind shear in the lower levels moderate. I mean, it's certainly possible. And again, I had said derecho or derecho-like event. Obviously, the criteria for a derecho is a long-lived line of severe thunderstorms producing significant damaging wind gusts that typically down trees and power lines, uh, sometimes cause some structural damage, that travels for over 400 miles. Um, but the issue that I'd be seeing with this line of thunderstorms that we're expecting would be that it doesn't travel that 400 miles, and I think that would be the reason that it doesn't qualify for derecho terminology, if anything. But yeah, the UP of Michigan is probably going to be safe for the most part. I think we're probably going to be watching just south of you. It's mainly going to be like a northern Wisconsin, northern of Michigan thing, and by the time it crosses over Lake Michigan, I think it's probably going to weaken significantly. You're going to have a lot less instability, but it will certainly be a significant damaging wind event at the least, where a couple of tornadoes will be possible, maybe an isolated strong tornado with those incredible 3 Cape values. Again, it would be a QLCS tornado. It's not like we're watching for a super discrete storm mode, but the SPC has highlighted a large 5% tornado risk across much of northern Wisconsin. NATOcast also being pretty aggressive with the 5% thrown out there, so we'll see what happens. Now, Chicago will be fine. Perhaps some rain for Chicago over the next couple of days, but no severe weather to be expected. Again, tomorrow is going to be quite a long day, I think. Obviously, derechos or derecho-like events, very long-lived line of thunderstorms. So we'll probably be live for a couple of hours. I would suspect there's probably a 90 to 95% chance of a live stream. I am aware that there's a tornado on the ground, yes. And in fact, that's why I'm traveling south. It's looking like it's going to just barely scrape the east side of Viroqua. Um, but I think we're probably going to watch this take a bullseye track for the Sylvia region. Um, Perhaps going a little bit north of Sylvia. Alright. Again, I really don't want to cross this river, guys. I hate crossing the Wenatchee. I really do. Um, but we don't have too many options here. We want to intercept this thing. So, we wipe away our tears and we cross this river of despair and road network sadness. Um, but if you don't get airborne, you weren't trying. I thought you were referring to the person for a second, and I was like, what? But yeah, I don't think that tomorrow is being discussed nearly enough. Um, Again, a derecho event isn't guaranteed in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, I don't even think it's likely. But I think it's going to be a long-lived MCS that produces significant damaging wind gusts at times. And I think there's probably a 20 or 30% chance that it qualifies for derecho terminology. But that's why I said derecho or derecho-like event. What's up, Dahani? Yeah, this is going to go right for Sylvia, as we expected. So, we'll position in the town. So far, I've not seen anything that verifies an 8-2. Not even close. This has been a pretty lackluster high-risk day, but there's always that third storm that could do something, which has developed, and it's going to be another freaking east of Wenatchee thing, most likely. So, that's just great. I missed my turn because I wasn't paying attention, and we're going to miss getting an intercept here. And by the time we're going to have a chance to do another intercept, the tornado is going to be off the map. Perfect, Davis. Perfect. The tornado is actually getting larger. I wouldn't say it's wedging out, but it's a very large stovepipe, obviously. So, um, again, it's trying to wedge out. I don't think it's going to succeed before it exits Key Soda, but it's going to get pretty close again. There's the town of Sylvia. There's the tornado. Looking at a direct intercept of this weak tornado. Yeah, Outbreak is not nearly as fun as Twisted, from what I've heard, just because you're not going to see nearly as many intense tornadoes. Um, but I can't get Outbreak anyway because Mac. All right. Um, we are currently watching this tornado directly impact the town of Sylvia. Again, pretty extraordinarily weak at this point. That home is always slept, right? Okay. Again, I don't think there's too much of a point of necessarily keeping with things here. What's up, Airborne? These streams are always so late. Yeah, I know. I know. Ditch the Mac. Listen, we're an Apple family. Okay? Yeah, that did nothing. There was nothing. Yeah. It says invalid. The code is literally RW56K4, so not too certain as to why you're experiencing that issue. It's rotten when old. Yeah, but I would argue the longevity of an iPhone is certainly superior to an Android's, and I think the same standard applies for computers. Um, I mean, I I do use a Chrome laptop at school, and they get extraordinarily cheap ones. They're like $200, but I've never seen one of those last more than 3 years. The computer that I have in the other room that I used to stream on, we've already had for 4 years, and it's undergone excessive use by 3 people. Like it's rare that there's not a time that it's um, what am I saying? It's rare that there's a time where it's not being used. So, and again, it's slowed down, but it's definitely not done. Yeah, everybody's like, oh, the custom build. I don't understand. Listen, I live in rural southern Illinois. I'd consider myself technologically advanced, but in the context of computer development, I'm definitely not quite there. And I understand it's not as hard once you actually, um, yeah, I'm too lazy to do it, and I don't want to do it. That's what I'm gonna say. Dude, oh my gosh, yeah, Dahani. Towards the end of the year, kids were trying to light fires and burn down the freaking school. Like, it's ridiculous. It got to the point where, dude, look at those subvortices. This is the tornado of the day, okay. Yeah, exceptionally violent tornado just ripped through Prior Lake. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Um, it got to the point where one of my friends did it, and simply because I was friends with him, I got like a stern, like, I was sitting with him when he did it. That was the whole rationale behind their decision to scold me. So that was, I thought a little silly, but like I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say, hey, don't do that, because in reality, worst case scenario, it smokes a little bit. Like nobody's okay. Yes, technically you could start a fire via that, and it could burn down the school. But kids aren't smart enough to. Oh boy, airborne, do they? What am I doing? I don't know why I'm driving this way. I was way too focused on chat. Way too focused on chat. No, yeah, it's a fun night, Otter. For some reason, I thought I was traveling west. I'm an idiot. We had Black Pixel Velocity there for at least a second. This could be another kind of East Hazel 10 strike thing with a direct north store motion. They fully blew up a Chromebook. I don't even understand how that's. Okay, I understand how it's possible, but that is insane. Getting violent tornado here, and we're missing it in its entirety because of my stupidity. I've seen a lot of people saying that whenever the RRFS takes over, they want to see the Day 4 Outlook be introduced in a similar way to the Day 3 Outlook, where you can see the marginal and general thunder outline along with the slight risk or whatever risk you have for that day. Um, I think that's a poor idea because the RRFS stretches just as far out as the NAM. I don't understand. Yeah, no. 1.22 is never coming out. Yeah, I mean, this is literally the twisted version of Geometry Dash's 2.2 update. It's the twisted version of GTA 6. Like this is twisted 1.22 is never coming out. Yeah, that was by far the most violent tornado I've ever chased. I will say I was a little disappointed whenever we actually got the intercept whilst it was weakening out. Um, I there was not a lot I could have done. If I had realized how violent it was, I wouldn't have thrown myself in there because I obviously would have greatly desired an intercept, so I would have, not just driven myself into suicide. Um, but I didn't know it was that strong until I looked at radar after I died. you know, so I could only discern how strong it was via velocity because again, it didn't hit hardly anything. But I will say we got multiple EF4 DIs in the wind field, not in the direct path, in the wind field, which tells you something. But yeah, I don't know if I can say that actually. They might demonetize me, but the actual condensation funnel was like 1,700 feet wide, which the just via estimation we can kind of discern that the wind field was likely about a mile and a half wide. By the way, this is a huge wedge. I did not realize quite how big this thing is, but getting Black Pixel Velocity once more. I don't know if we're going to be able to get an intercept here, but we're going to try. Oh, we're going to try. We're gonna see what we can do. Again, violent tornado. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. There's no way. There is no way. Oh. We missed. It's quite unfortunate. I do want to read Matthew Capucci's book. I Here's the thing. I am like outside of my passion for weather. I am a very typical teenager in the sense that I would genuinely rather go hit a wasp nest with a bat than sit and read an entire book. I have a hatred for reading with a passion, a fiery passion. And you guys know how I feel about wasps. I'm not, I'm not so naive as many of you are. I know their real intentions. No, but I hate wasps. I actually think I would rather hit a wasp nest with a baseball bat, assuming I have the opportunity to run away shortly after. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, why do we need wasps? I've seen some say we need them to combat the insect population. Some people go as far as saying if wasps didn't exist and they didn't eat the spiders, spiders would take over the world. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a scientist, but I don't think that would happen. We just drove. Oh, that was horrible. We just drove through this tornado. It is very weak. I mean, we have other creatures that combat the insect population. It's not like wasps are the only ones doing the job that no other flying creatures want to. Even land creatures. I don't know why I said flying creatures. Snakes do oh my gosh. Snakes I feel like combat the spider population pretty well, unless I'm tripping. I'm pretty sure that snakes eat spiders. I probably just said something really dumb, didn't I? But I don't know. No, yeah, they're evil. People say, "Oh, if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone." No, they don't. Like what? They're more scared of you than you are of them. Highly doubt it. Hey Alexa, do snakes eat spiders?
Here's something I found on reference.com. Snakes are carnivorous reptiles that typically eat animals, but there are some varieties capable of eating spiders. Snakes are considered zoophagous because of their eating habits. This means that their diets consist of animals. While most snakes eat rodents, birds, and eggs, some larger varieties, such as the anaconda, eat larger prey like pigs and people. Certain snakes, like the king cobra, eat other snakes. Not many varieties of snakes are known to eat spiders. The ring-necked snake, named after the orange or yellow band just below its head, eats very small vertebrates as well as a variety of invertebrates, including earthworms, insect larvae, and spiders.
So ringbeak snakes eat spiders. See, that's why we don't need wasps. The ringback snakes can do their job for them. Holy app, yeah. I think my Wi-Fi cut out for like 15 seconds because chat also loaded a bunch of messages at once. Great. So there goes our next high risk. That's just phenomenal. It's not like I wanted to play that anyway. Um, yeah, I think my Wi-Fi cut out for about 15 seconds. Quite unfortunate. We got kicked. Yes, I like otters. Anyway, do we have this? We do have this 6C. Okay, so no, surprisingly, no 15 hatch wind. Again, um, if we were to look at pivotal here, we bring up the H triple R. We go back to the 0Z. Actually, it would be easier to do this with Omega, just because pivotal freezes if you spam frame changes. H triple R 0Z, showing us that beautiful, beautiful, just spectacular bow echo line of storms sweeping through most of northern Wisconsin through the early afternoon time hours tomorrow. Again, developing from a semi-clustery supercellular mode back into Minnesota. Again, would this travel 400 miles at severe intensity? Quite possibly, if something like this were to play out. Central Minnesota through the eastern portion of the UP is just about 400 miles, so again, it would have to maintain in severe intensity that entire time. If we go over to the NAM, it actually has this occurring quite a bit further south. We take a look at the 0Z run of the NAM. It has this kind of fully developing into a bow echo, or at least a visible line of storms around the Minnesota-Wisconsin state line. And then we watch this travel off to the southeast, moving through much of central Wisconsin, and then dissipating through Michigan. Now, if something like this were to happen, I actually think that the line could end up being a bit more intense because we do have better instability values further south. So we'll see. It's Wisconsin. I just say it to annoy people now. You're from Wisconsin, and I'm still going to deny your enunciation. Wisconsin. But again, I would no, we're not doing that camp. Nope. I would be on decently high alert if I'm in either central or northern Wisconsin tomorrow. Again, I don't think it's going to be anything, absurd, but I do see the very real potential of this playing out as a derecho or a derecho-like event. Now, it's very hard to say in a situation like this what our estimation for peak wind gusts would be. I would probably, again, and that's just because the two short range models that we've looked at have very different views of the line and its intensity in general. Again, those little yellow splodges that you see there on the wind gusts, that would be indicative of your wind gusts reaching severe intensity for the most part. As you can kind of see from the little color scale up top, the little color scheme, I guess you should say. 50 knots there, that would be about 55 miles an hour. 58 knots is severe, or no, 50 knots is severe intensity. So yeah, any of those yellow splotches there would be damaging winds of 60 miles an hour or greater. And those little dark yellow spots, the brownish spots, would be damaging wind gusts up to 60 knots, which would be 70 miles an hour or greater. Again, appearing pretty consistently there, pretty much every frame somewhere throughout this Bo Echo's uh, travel. So, I've looked at the STP values. It has like these STP. The NAM does this quite often, but it has these little STP. Or no, I was thinking of the NAM in general, not the NAM 3K. I've now looked at the NAM 3Ks. Yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. um, Again, obviously, this doesn't take into account store mode, but even if we had a discrete store mode, I don't think we'd be able to verify an STP of 4. Uh, at least not that late into the day. Again, I do see a very real tornado threat with this event. Your 3K values are actually quite a bit more impressive than what we typically see with some of these summertime events in the upper Midwest. Your 0 to 3 kilometer cape there, if we go back to the 0Z run of the HRRR model, it actually gets quite high throughout the early afternoon time hours tomorrow. Um, if we go ahead and take a look at this here, you'll notice that we can go ahead and measure this through the Radar Omega app. You got 200 to 210, 3 cape, even getting close to 220 at times. And it's not like that's just a one frame thing that's decently consistent across different portions of Wisconsin. And again, 3 cape is arguably the most important thing that you look for whenever forecasting for a QLCS tornado threat. Something else that's pretty mandatory for any sort of tornado spin up threat with a QLCS are decent lower level SRH values. And despite our wind shear in general being quite poor, our lower level SRH is actually decently impressive. Your 0 to 1 is actually quite high. I'd say you've got nearly, I mean, obviously where the storms travel over, you're going to have more, but you've got nearly 200 SRH, even over 200 SRH at times in the 0 to 1, which, if you're not aware, is more than enough to support a tornado threat. Especially in a supercellular mode, but even in a QLCS mode. And your 0 to 3 SRH is quite high. I'd say very high. Again, if we go back here, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. The 0 to 3 SRH, again, ranging anywhere kind of from 270 to 300 pretty consistently, but getting well over 300 at times, getting close to 350, which again isn't like absurd, but it's quite high. I mean, you get over 400 at times, which is very high, I'd say. So, yeah, I mean, definitely an environment that's going to be supportive of a pretty intense QLCS tornado threat. Only 23 hours till Thursday. Very true. It's only 47 hours till Friday. What did he say? Oh. No! Nope, we don't do that here. Nope. Nope. You have picture day before school starts. It's interesting. What's up, Mark? Yeah, that's weird. Wait, hold on. Your picture day is next Monday. So Monday would be 5 days away. That'd be the 28th, and you're saying school starts only a week after that. You start school in the first week of August. That's kind of extreme. We do second week of August here, and I think that that is ridiculous. I would rather get out in June and go back in September than get out in May and go back in August like we do. Because August is typically the pinnacle of our severe weather season in the Ohio Valley. And I don't want to be sitting in class whilst the derecho of the year hits me. Loki, summer this year was boring. Yeah, there wasn't like. I hate talking like summer's already over because it's sad to think that it is. This was, again, obviously, it's. People say this every year, but this was the shortest summer ever. And I think that's generally agreed upon. Like, there is no way that school starts in like 3 weeks. Not even. Like, that is insane. Well, let me draw an analogy to Hani. About one in probably around 1 in 10 million people become a billionaire. Um, the 9,999,999 other people aren't. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's better to be a billionaire. Summer 2021 was great. I think summer 2022 was better. I'm not gonna lie. Jesse! Can you give Missouri less rain? Ask the government. Ask Corp. Hesse. You drove across Vegas by yourself without dying? That's good. Again, I despise driving in the city. Or, city here is any town that has 10,000 or more people, but I hate it. I like driving on the interstate better than I like driving in the city. Talking about in the city or on the interstate. I can't do all the traffic. I don't know why. And you may say, oh, well, then why are you more comfortable with the interstate? I can't do the traffic. It's a conjunct that makes me despise city driving. I can't do the traffic with um, traffic lights and such. I don't know why. it just amplifies my stress by a power of a million. It's ridiculous. I can't do that though. I don't know why. I just I can't do it. There's just something about the fact that if you make the mistake of going at the wrong time, you're screwed. Which again, I'm sure gets easier as you go along because you realize what when you can go and when you can't, but it's insane. Just want the 6CH triple R. That's what I want for Christmas. I don't know if we're going to be live for it because that's still another hour away. I don't see us being here for another hour. Yeah, the other day I was driving on the highway. There was a snake in the road in some guy's lane. And here, let me use the artistic ability that I was gifted with, and let me do a nice little drawing here. This is just gonna be phenomenal. Uh, this is gonna be incredible. You've never seen anything like it. Watch this. So I'm here. I'm just chugging along, speeding by like 5 miles an hour. But that's besides the point. There's a snake in the road over here, and there's a driver coming in a very nice car. This kid was so scared of the snake that he went all the way into my lane, and I had to get off the side of the road, almost falling into the ditch to survive. And then he just goes back over. Yeah, you can report that. So, actually, I probably shouldn't have said that on stream. Normally, that wouldn't be a big deal, but they can like take away my permit. Don't report that. Yeah, I got into an argument on Twitter, as per usual. Um, and it was there's two types of conversations that you have on Twitter. You have genuine rationalized debates where logic and reasoning takes precedence, and then you have an insult match. Um, and that's what I was having. It had kind of devolved into an insult match, and the whole crux of their argument was that I'm young, so that means I don't know what I'm talking about. So instead of disputing anything that I say, they say, "You're 15. You're not even old enough to drive. What do you know?" It's like, really? Really? I'm not old enough to drive? I have a piece of paper on my desk right now that says otherwise. No, that wasn't even what I was talking about, Jesse. That was. No, I will. I debate anybody at any time, assuming they are on the opposition of a belief that I withhold. Get back on Twist. So we got disconnected because my Wi-Fi cut out for like 10 seconds, and we lost the 8-2 high risk, which made me kind of sad. All right, 5ZH Triple R continues to come in, putting the potential derecho or derecho-like event even further north. And again, they have these kind of clustery thunder showers here. You can see the low, but you kind of have these clustery thunder showers here in central Wisconsin throughout the late morning time hours. These could potentially produce some damaging winds and hail. You're obviously not going to have any sort of tornado threat associated with that. And I've seen a couple people saying, oh, those are going to stabilize the atmosphere. No. Like what? Huh? I think the atmosphere has time to recover whenever a couple of thunder showers develop over a very localized region after 4 hours of time. I don't see anything too interesting on the day three. What's going to be the day two? I've looked. Yeah, I don't. I've seen multiple people discuss it. We could dive into it, but you spelled graphic wrong. Oh, by the way, GIF. I've found another piece of reasoning for the people that believe it is pronounced, mistakenly believe that it is pronounced GIF. Um, what does GIF stand for? Well, let's go and look it up. What does GIF stand for? Nope, it was right there. Graphics. Now, I want to show it to you. Come on. From a girl. What? Graphics interchange format. It's not graphics interchange format. It's graphics interchange format. So it's GIF. It is just a factual statement to exert that GIF is pronounced GIF. Well, it sounds like Jog is offering you a nice opportunity there, Brody. So if you really want to sleep, I'd take him up on it. But no, somebody took one of my tweets and put it on r/EF5 though. Pretty recently. Let's. I don't know if we want to do that or not. I don't know if that's a good idea. Here it is. It's got 31 upvotes. The actual tweet got 400 likes, so I don't know why I'm so excited about 31 upvotes, but that was growing out your hair going. I'm glad you asked, because nobody seems to care. Um, what is? I think it's going well. I think it's definitely. Can we? No. Let's just throw up this. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Here we go. Let's throw this up so that you can see my big ugly face. I don't know. I think it's going pretty well. I mean, it's definitely gotten longer. I was thinking about getting rid of the sides because my hair, very unfortunately, grows around my glasses and it looks ridiculous. But my lens just fell out. Um, I mean, it's going well. This is the longest it's ever been in my entire life, and I'm gonna keep going. Bro, it's not a bowl cut. It's not a bowl cut. That is not what a bowl cut is. Bowl cut, you get rid of the sides in the back. The back, look. I can't. It looks like I'm trying to mew, but yeah, everybody always makes fun of people like, "Oh, you have a bowl cut. You have a bowl cut." Probably less than 0.1% of the population actually has a bowl cut. Like, I don't think I know anybody that actually has a bowl cut. Get the Levi cut. Only Levi can rock the Levi cut. I can make myself look like a, hold on. I can make myself look like a mama's boy real fast. Wait for this. Watch this. This could be used as like a meme template. Get some white stuff. If you're asking how to do it via OBS, there's an option whenever you start your stream. Is it when you start your stream? Yeah, yeah. It's whenever you start your stream. There's a little box that says, like, latency. You can turn it to ultra low. Peace out, Jesse. Maybe look 7 years older? What are you talking about? I look like I'm 22? I don't think so. I mean, I have the room of a 5-year-old, so. The wasp meme is dead, guys. It's dead. It's over. Nah, but watch this. I wanna. Wait, wait, wait. I can do it even better. Hold on. I can't. Hold on. I wanna get just like a little. Just a couple hairs. And then we. No, no, no. It's not hardly visible because the lighting's so poor. Let me turn on. I almost just broke my laptop. Watch this. Bro looks like Sam? That's an insult. Here, one more. Watch this. Just watch and learn, folks. I can't get it to stick. If I had a comb, I could. Now we get the glasses. And then we have to do that all over again? No, we don't. I don't know, though. Do we like it like that, or do we like it? I don't think you are older than me. What's your birth month? Wait, are you 16? Oh. Gotta represent. I don't know. I'm mini max velocity. That's what everybody at Summit said. So it's just who I am now. In real life, I'm known as the kid that has a deep voice and makes weather videos. I don't like. I think 3 or 4 separate people over the past week have told me that I have a deep voice. Like, I don't think I have an exceptionally deep voice, but perhaps it's just in juxtaposition to what I sounded like a year ago, because I sounded like a 5-year-old. I'm gonna fall out of this chair and bust my head open. No, these were all, like, the elderly, you know. How am I the elderly whenever you're older than me? Forgot we had this pulled up. I am kind of mad that I put in Forever by Kanye West at the end of the Twisted video, because that got it copyrighted. And it actually did pretty well. Hey, we did a collab like 3 years ago. What does the thumbnail look like? Oh, I thought it'd be something fun. We did a collab a few years ago.
What's going on, guys? My name is Dave.
Oh, that was 3 years ago?
Welcome back to another video, and today I have a very special guest here.
Why was I so awkward? I have a very special guest here. I don't know why, but that brought tears to my eyes. That made my eyes water because I cringed so hard. And we actually had another collab outside of that. Hold on. We did this one was even worse. If I can find it. This was a point on my channel where nobody was watching, so I was kind of just posting whatever I wanted to. We can just. This was 3 years ago as well.
Hello everybody, my name is Davis. Welcome back to another video.
Bro, I was a baller.
And today we're doing something else. We're outside and I'm going
Yeah, and then my brother came out. Why did I post this? I remember being so eager. So eager. I want to get back to that because that was. You see. I want to get to the part where I was. The little frame here on the. Above the timestamp. Can we clip this? Oh, I just realized. I'm such an idiot. I did that earlier today as well while I was filming a video. Look at that. I was a baller. Alright. That is quite the screenshot. Well, 1.8K videos isn't actually that ridiculous whenever you go into the math behind it. Because you have, in a few days, 4 years of content, times 365. For most of my time on YouTube, I actually did post daily, or at least did some kind of piece of content daily. And 4 times 365 would be 1580. So if you take into account, yeah, I mean it's pretty reasonable. But it was definitely a grind. I'm not saying it wasn't. It is a ridiculous amount of videos. It certainly is. And I don't think a lot of people understand how much work it was. And this isn't to say, oh, this is so hard. Well, it was so hard. I don't know why I'm acting as if it wasn't a challenge. Posting a video every day. Sometimes you actually at this point multiple times a day, quite frequently, whenever you have nobody watching, is very hard. I was stuck at 16 subscribers for 3 months, and then I gained another subscriber. I got to 17, and I found out it was my friend. That was devastating. And a lot of people don't realize that it was really only about last year that this channel actually started to get a consistent viewer base. And it was only even more recently that that viewer base had any kind of consistency. You know, sure, every now and then you get 100 views on a video, but whenever every other video you're getting like 4, and again, that 100 viewed video comes maybe once, twice a month. I mean, that is certainly discouraging. But we push through. Again, it really does do. It is insane to scroll through here, and it really does make me realize how long I've been on this platform for. And again, I had another channel before this, back in 2020, the year of everything great. Like, see, watch this. This was a year ago. And keep in mind, this is after all these videos have been out for a year. At the time, a video getting 50 views was performed. That was a highly performing video. Every day, 50 views. This was only a year ago. Like, it's insane. I mean, we even go back to, like, November. Like, look at this. 63, 97, 95, 47. And then, in particular, this is going to sound weird. It wasn't necessarily because of the form of content, but these 3 videos, the geography videos, were whenever this channel took a drastic turn for the better. If we go further up here, you'll be able to note and discern the difference between then and now. The length of each video. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And they were not high quality pieces of content whatsoever. I was still doing gaming. It was around these few videos where I decided I'm only going to put something out on this channel if I really am proud of it. And that's also, you'll be able to note, that's whenever I stopped uploading daily. Like, daily. We're missing a couple days here and there. And then you get to after Winter Storm Blair, because I made a lot of videos during Blair. Then you get to, oh, there were 3 days missed. Oh, there were 4 days missed. Oh, there were 2 days missed. No, there were 5 days missed. Oh, there were 4 days missed. And as the quality became more and more high effort, those gaps only increased. Like, oh, here's a whole week without a single video. Now, obviously, I still streamed, made a couple of shorts, most likely, because I was still doing shorts at the time, and I had the second channel. Actually, I did have the second channel. But, again, it turned into about once a week. And now, we post about once a week. See you, Brody. I don't believe that, Airborne. There's no way. Were you only in chat before that? I don't know why I'm... Oh, I just realized it's, Okay, this was just unnecessary. Why? Anyway, moving on. 5ZH Triple R continues to render. 5ZH Triple R is fully rendered. We go. What am I doing? Composite reflectivity. That was horrible. Why? In all seriousness, again, has a significant trend in the north with our QLCS. And if we see another one of that distance, this would be a problem for the maple syrup men. Like that wouldn't even be on us at this point. Again, though, I definitely do see the potential for this to have at least derecho-like results. In terms of widespread significant wind damage over a long swath. I'd also note, again, this kind of, the QLCS behind it moving through South Dakota. Could this potentially try and qualify? Sure. I don't see a significant damaging wind threat with these thunderstorms quite as what I do with our Wisconsin mode, though. See a magnet? But if we look at 5ZH triple R, you'll notice these thunderstorms here actually eventually develop into that backside QLCS. I don't know what that is, Otter. Why am I sat like this? I'm like, you can't even hardly see my face. What do you guys think about Coldplay? I think that Coldplay is pretty awesome. I'm not tired, but that's because my sleep schedule's cooked. Look, seriously, I go to bed at 4 a.m. every night, and that's not a joke. I only end stream, usually the very latest I'll stream is around 1. Tonight we're making an exception, but I only never stream after 1 or 2 just because I don't want to disrupt other members in this household. Other residents. But if you look at like my community tab, I'll post pretty consistently, usually at least once a night after 3 or 4 a.m. So I go to bed at 4, wake up around 1. Although recently that's kind of been pushed back to 11. My mom's been trying to get me to wake up earlier so that I'm ready for school, which is going to be hard to adjust. That first night is always impossible to fall asleep, not because I'm nervous, but because you go from going to bed at 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's a pretty drastic change. Alright, you can sue me. I've put my permanent risk, or my, the legality of my permanent risk, I've put my, I put so many things at risk today. Gotten myself into several legal piles of turmoil. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna stream it tomorrow. Again, probably gonna start up around 2 or 3, if I'm being totally honest. Again, QLCS tornado threat will exist with this line of storms. I'm pretty interested in this prefrontal. Let's see. does the environment look like for the prefrontal? Yeah, see again, it's gonna struggle with shear, which is the whole reason that this line of storms is gonna make it so far in the first place, is because there is a lack of lower level shear. But I still think a couple of QLCS tornadoes are possible. I was talking about the supercell. The supercell is going to struggle to produce a tornado because of lack of lower level shear. Again, the line of storms is going to thrive on there being low level shear. Low level shear. It looks like we had a little bit of an uptrend in instability, if I'm not crazy. Not super drastic, but perhaps a bit more widespread. Again, there's not a ton stopping this from being a derecho-like event. Obviously, the longevity of the storms is going to be snipped as soon as it hits Lake Michigan, and that may destroy its potential for qualifying as a derecho, but we'll remember you, Oxygen. Yeah, I suffered with panic attacks while trying to sleep. Um, as recent as a couple of years ago, because I just could not shut my brain off. And I think that's associated with overstimulation and undiagnosed OCD. I'm diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, but I think I'm more OCD than anything else. And I've noticed some patterns in my brother that are indicative of OCD. So I hope he doesn't have to go through what I did. But a lot of people think that OCD is about being neat and tidy. Um, it's not what it is in all cases. Well, it's cleanish right now because my mom makes me clean it every Friday. So during the school year, it's a tragedy. See, mine is like the repetitive thoughts thing, which can become, and again, worrying about stupid things as well, which becomes very destructive very quickly with those in combination. Yeah, I don't remember who it was airborne, but I know I do remember that. I can't sleep some nights because I worry about Fortnite. Yeah, turning off screens, but then what am I gonna do? You know, they say turn off screens an hour before you go to bed and it'll ease your mind. I've tried it, haven't noticed any significant difference, and again, that could just be associated with undiagnosed. That I tried to make a D. Yeah, already told you about the baseball bat thing. I'm definitely not reading a book. I might too, bro. Like, again, I don't, I don't, I'm not one of those people that like self-diagnoses myself with like 1,000 different mental disorders, but yeah, we may just stay up for the 68 triple R. I mean, I'm gonna stay up for it, but I don't know if I'm gonna. You're getting into Geometry Dash? Yeah, I mean, I I'm in my out of it phase now, and I think it's more permanent than any of the others because now I don't use my iPad. I use my phone, which is much more difficult. And playing it on computer is even worse. I'm sorry, but playing GD on computer is insufferable. I don't understand how people do it. And people are like, oh, mobile's so hard. And to be honest, it's not. It's not. I was beating demons on mobile when I was 6. Monopoly Reed Timmer Edition. We'll just throw that up there. Chat. I need you guys to go follow me on X. Because nobody on X likes me. I need I need some friends. Let's get to 600 followers. Yeah, who's that dude that died today? That musician? Ozzy Osbourne, that's what it is. No, I know who it is, but I forgot his name. Give me a break. Cut me some slack, man. He's also the one that made I Am Iron Man. Wake up, Davis, wake up. I think I'm awake. I mean, that's the problem. Just wake up at like noon, Brody. I don't think. I really don't think it's more. I think it's a bit more counterintuitive to be in a YouTube chat than to attempt to sleep if your goal is sleep. John Adams died last month? That's crazy. I heard his friend, his name was Tom. Tom G. Offerson. I think he tragically passed away recently. Dreaming about streaming. Have I ever dreamed about streaming? I don't think I have. I did dream about getting doxxed. That was fun. Bro, the wake up joke is not funny, bro. It's not funny. I'm just gonna hope that you guys didn't hear that. You did not hear that. Yeah, I told myself last month that I was gonna be consistent with watching No Poop July, and then I just didn't. I mean, obviously, I'm participating in it, but. Oh, Otter just gets to decide whether I'm having a mental crisis or not. That's great. You did not hear it. No, you didn't. Are you actually being serious? Did you actually hear it? Autism risk. What did it say then, Otter? Y'all actually heard that? Just an FYI, that was a video sent to me via a friend. That was not something I would typically engage in the act of listening to. I'm not gonna say who it was. I'm not gonna call him out on stream, but no, you don't want to go back. It was Levi. It was not Levi, no. What's up, Stormwatcher? I saw your email. Levi is the heart of Levi has the heart of like I don't know. I was trying to think of a really moral person. Levi would never send something like that. brie cheese. We starting a timeout war? Camp. No, most people didn't hear it. I'm convinced. Okay, see you, Airborne. Have fun. You can watch the In-N-Out food review. I will not be watching the In-N-Out food review.
Puppy, come over there!
Just for the record, that was not me. That was Simon. Yeah, my voice was like nearly as highly pitched as his was, though. That's the sad thing. Hold on. Let's see. Let's listen in.
Hello everyone, my name is Davis and welcome back to another video. And today we're doing something else. We're outside.
Was my voice higher pitched than his? I don't think it was, but
Puppy.
no, it wasn't. Got a little worried for a second. Fine, fine.
Just a second. Tomato, you want me
Here's
to go
another
out?
Simon appearance.
That's good.
Better than Whataburger or the same?
Okay, there you go.
If you want to see the actual review, you gotta watch the video. In-N-Out is very gas. I've only been once, unfortunately, because the one benefit of the West Coast, they are they have the monopoly on In-N-Out. They were gonna move the headquarters to Tennessee, and then they didn't. That made me sad. Because, Tennessee, slowly but surely it expands. Then you get to the Midwest, and then you're here. But nope. They're not actually going to put an In-N-Out there, though. Look. There's some new article. Oh. I was wrong. I thought I saw something that... Well, shoot, there's going to be 35. One's going to be in Hendersonville. I've been to Hendersonville. Hopefully after that they expand a little bit further north. I need my fix of In-N-Out without having to go back to Texas. What's the ad? Culver's, okay. Now here's the debate. Culver's or In-N-Out? Yeah, even though Culver's is the fast food restaurant at the weather community, I'm gonna have to go in and out. Culver's kind of overrated, not gonna lie. What did it say? I know it was one of those goofy ones. Let's see. Oh no! Alright. Um. Went from an In-N-Out video to a interesting advertisement. That is insane. I don't think one is necessarily directly better than the others. Chick-fil-A is not better than Wendy's, no. Went to Chick-fil-A the other day. Mid. Dave's Hot Chicken is the most overrated... Dude. Dave's Hot Chicken is terrible. It's so bad. It is not better than Cane's. It's not even close. Cane's is good. Dave's Hot Chicken sucks. It doesn't taste like anything. It's just hot. They put... What, like, who in their right mind puts coleslaw on their chicken sandwich by default? That is ridiculous. What's the best fast food then? I'm gonna say it. I mean, it's not the best, but heavily underrated. I'm gonna go Freddy's. Freddy's is likely the most underrated fast food. Trying to think of what's better. It's definitely not the best, but it's very good. Freddy's is nothing like Culver's. Freddy's is closer to Steak and Shake. If you're in the Midwest, you know Steak and Shake hits. But I'm going to be honest. I think Freddy's might be a little better. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. No, Mexican food sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Growing up is actually, and I was thinking about tweeting this the other day, but even for me, this is controversial. Growing up is realizing that pizza really not that great. I just said it. In-N-Out is better than Shake Shack. Slightly. Listen, I don't think it's bad. I'd say you can definitely have very good pizza. But it's not the best food of all time. Retry Dave. No. They literally I paid $10 for a milkshake. Like, that is insane. Chicago deep dish is pretty good. But I also like a thin crust. I'm like Dave Portnoy. Never had authentic Detroit style. I've been to Detroit. Because I'm not a cultured person. I live in rural southern Illinois. What did you expect? I don't like beans. I'm kind of borderline. I'm borderline of what people would consider a picky eater. Like, I'm not fully a picky eater, but I'm borderline, you know? I still remember the time where I pulled up Twitter and I found out WX Meme Hub was banned. It's a beauty. This wasn't even the best frame. Tier maker. Chip. I don't want to rank 200 chips at 2:14 in the morning. I'm sorry. Bugles. Bugles. We're gonna throw you at good just because of how much salt you bring with you. Cape Cod chips are pretty good. They're kind of good tier as well. Never had spicy Cape Cod. Regular Cheetos can go good. I'm at the point in my life where I think I'm growing out of a love for Cheetos. I used to adore them. I don't really anymore. What are even Clover chips? Nobody knows what that is. Doritos, what commonly known as the purple bag. For some reason here they're listed as Bold Barbecue Eclate. I'm assuming that's a different regions. Here in the United States, sweet spicy chili. They're also good. Cool Ranch Doritos. You see, Cool Ranch Doritos are good. I promise I'm not just going to put everything in good. Because next up, Nacho Cheese Doritos. Amazing. The Honey Barbecue Flavor Twist Fritos are amazing. Fritos. Good. I go back to my Bugles glaze. Extreme Soul. Funyuns are decent. See, hot fries, I have a horrible memory with. This would be with the Andy Caps hot fries. They're good, but one time I was sick, and I was like in the stage where you're like getting over it, but you're still kind of showing some symptoms. And I ate a whole bag of them, and I threw it up all over the carpet that's on my floor right now. And the vomit was red. I'm sure, Brody. No, peace out though, Brody. No, yeah, I'm not TMI, I know, but it's just true. Anyway, 6CH Triple R, did you cook? See you, Otter. Yeah, I think we're going to end off in a few. I really just wanted to see 6H Triple R. I really did not think we were going to stay live for this long. But, I mean, it's, convection-wise, it looks similar. What does instability look like? Decent, I would say it was very similar, maybe a slight downtrend. No, it's similar. And again, it kind of has this being like a northern Wisconsin situation once more. So, anyway, chat, I think we're going to end off the live stream here. Thank you all for putting up with my crap for another hour and a half. We will likely be live tomorrow covering those significant damaging wind gusts, again, associated with our derecho/derecho-like event. Again, multiple QLCS tornadoes possible, so make sure to have multiple ways to receive alerts if you're out here in the upper Midwest. And I will see you all in the next one, whenever that is. Peace.